What up, family? It is Wild Card Wednesday. I am Davina, the relationship guru. This is where we shake things up, spill the real, and take a deep dive into everything love, sex, and romance. No filters, no fluff, just straight up truth and insight. You never know what's coming up next, so stay tuned every Wednesday. Listen, I have a very important topic that I don't want you to miss. Now, we've all heard about STDs and STIs. We've all heard the importance of getting tested, but there's so much more that gets left out of the conversation. So today, I want to take us back to the beginning. Let's take it back to basics, breaking down what you need to know. I am also going to break down some things you may not have realized. Now, stay with me until the end because we are going to get into some show enough stuff for real. We have to unpack this truth. Now, since you are here, please take a moment to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. Thank you in advance. We have all heard about STDs and STIs. We've all heard the importance of getting tested, but there is so much more that gets left out of the conversation. So today, I want to take us back to the beginning. Let's take it back to basics, breaking down what you need to know. And also, I am going to break down some things that you may not have realized. Stay with me until the end because we're getting into some show enough stuff for real. So let's start with some definitions. What is the difference between STDs and STIs? The terms sexually transmitted disease, STD, and sexually transmitted infection, STI, are often used interchangeably. Yes, there is some difference. Many professionals use STI because they consider it to be more accurate. Now, an STI, a sexually transmitted infection, means you have a virus, bacteria, or parasite in your body. However, you may not have any symptoms. A STD, a sexually transmitted disease, happens when that infection, that virus, that bacteria, or that parasite causes symptoms or health problems. This usually happens because a STI has been left untreated. All STDs start as STIs. However, not all STIs turn into STDs. While both are bacteria, while both can be a virus, while both can be a parasite that gets passed from person to person through sexual activity, not everyone with an infection has symptoms. Long story short, STIs can be present with or without symptoms. Now listen to the end. There is more information that follows. The most common infections include HPV, herpes, syphilis, hepatitis, trichomoniasis, gonorrhea, chlamydia, and HIV. Each year, millions of people are infected with STIs. However, many go undiagnosed and therefore untreated because they show no symptoms. Here are some of the STIs or STDs that have no symptoms. Chlamydia. Up to 70% of women and 50% of men with chlamydia do not experience symptoms. No symptoms. Gonorrhea. About 40% of women and 10% of men with gonorrhea have no symptoms. No symptoms. Human papilloma virus, HPV. Most HPV infections have no symptoms in the beginning. However, some strains can later cause genital warts or cervical cancer. Trichomoniasis. About 70% of people with trichomoniasis do not experience symptoms. No symptoms. Syphilis. In its early stages, syphilis can have no symptoms. With syphilis, most often the symptoms come at the second stage. HIV. Some people with HIV may not experience symptoms for several years after the infection. Now, feel free to fact check. You can Google which STIs and which STDs have no symptoms. Now, let me jump in here with my first disclaimer. I am not a doctor and I don't play one on the internet. I am a medical professional in the health field. What I am more than anything else is someone who believes in the power of knowledge. My goal is to share information so that you can make an informed decision about your health and future. The more you know, the smarter choices you can make. Always hit up a legit healthcare professional for the real deal on medical advice. Now, my prayer is that you stay informed and stay safe. Again, please stay to the end for more information. Back to some information right now. My thoughts here. The only way to know for sure if someone has a STI is to be tested. Some infections are difficult to detect because of how you need to test for that particular STI. There is no one for all test. Again, there is no one for all test. This means different infections require different kinds of testing, such as blood test, urine test, or a swab test. Now, once tested, and if it is determined that you are infected, the next step is getting proper treatment. Depending on the type of infection, there are various forms of treatment. Some STDs cannot be cured. However, there is treatment available for all infections. There is treatment available to minimize symptoms for those STDs that cannot be cured. The key takeaway is that testing is important to determine if someone has been affected. Sexually active people should get tested for STIs at least once a year. If you have symptoms or not, it is recommended that you get checked. I am including a link for free resources in your area, including free testing sites. Okay, I am going to jump in with my second disclaimer. Free testing sites are federally and state funded. They are also locally funded. So they are federal, state, and locally funded programs. There are many federal and state programs that have been slashed under our new administration. If you are someone who has not been tested, I would advise you to take advantage of the free resources before they are gone. However, if you prefer, you can also buy an at-home STI testing kit. So, if you haven't already, set aside some time to get tested. Remember, sexual health is self-care. Now, I would love to know your thoughts. Did you find this information helpful? And if so, would you please leave a comment below? Ciao for now.